Welcome everybody to my What If Deku was Spider-Man Part 2, the redo. So we start from Uncle Ben's death. Deku screaming, "Uncle Ben, please wake up." Uncle Ben not speaking, just dead. Deku's like, "Uncle Ben," just shaking his body. There's more and more blood coming out of his throat. Deku praying to God to wake up Uncle Ben. Nothing's happening. And Deku's like, "Please, Uncle Ben, I don't know what I'll do without you." And he's just shaking his body so he can wake up. But nothing's happening. The ambulance come. They take Uncle Ben's body. Deku says, "Is he alive?" And they did no comment. And they put the blanket over his face. Deku now crying even more that his uncle is officially dead. He can't come back. It's all his fault that he stormed away. Deku, he runs home, and first thing he sees is Aunt May. He goes hug Aunt May. Aunt May's like, "Huh? Where's Ben?" She sees blood on Deku's hands, and she's like, "No, no!" And she claps on the floor, and she starts crying on Deku's leg, and Deku starts crying on Aunt May, and it's just a horrific day for both of them. And Deku in his head is thinking, that guy's gonna pay. That guy's gonna pay. Whoever killed my uncle has to pay. I will get my revenge. It's now the next day. Deku wakes up and he sees Aunt May dressed in black. Aunt May is completely a widow now. Her husband has died. Deku feels strange that he can never see his uncle again speak the most inspirational words ever. And yeah, so Deku, he's just walking, and he goes into the basement where some pictures are of Uncle Ben and him as a kid. And yeah, so he walks down the stairs, but his feet, it gets sticky. Deku holds the handle. His hands get sticky. He tries to yank both limbs, to yank all the wooden planks, but it's still sticking on to him. Deku says, "I need to relax. Maybe something's going on in my body." He relaxes. The planks leave him. Degu's like, "Huh?" Deku getting flashbacks of the spider that bit him. Deku thinking, was that spider radioactive? Then in that case, I could die any minute. But the woman did say, I heard, that if I hit the hand, if the spider bites the hand or bites the neck, they don't know what's gonna happen. Guess I'm the first. And I guess I'm getting superpowers. So that's why I was ripped. So that's why I could dodge things. That's why I could see more further. That's why I'm more agile on my feet. That's why I'm more faster. That's why I can stick on things. I have to tell Aunt May right now. Deku opens the door. Slightly, sees Aunt May crying in the dining chair where her husband used to sit. Deku cries silently. And, He says, no, that was a lot of havoc of yesterday. I shouldn't tell her. I could become a lab rat for scientists. I need to think about this even more. Deku is now, let me say that it's now evening. Deku is, just walking around in the house. Then he trips on something. And he finds this old picture of him and Uncle Ben 10 years ago. And it's around when Deku was like a toddler and he's holding like a baby. Deku smiles and a tear goes onto the picture. And then Deku is like, I got these powers, so what should I do? Deku closes his eyes. He sees Uncle Ben and Deku's like, Uncle Ben, please, tell me, what should I do? And Uncle Ben says, remember the last words I told you. With great power comes great responsibility. And he vanishes. Deku opens his eyes again. And he sees everything now. I got these remarkable powers. My uncle has died. There's a murder on the loose. Tokyo has turned into havoc. Crime has risen. I need to step up. Even though I've always wanted to become a scientist when I was young, and I know I maybe not be going as a scientist forever now, I have to do it for my uncle. I will become a hero in the secret of society, and I will save people. People just like Uncle Ben. But in order to do that, I need my identity to be a secret. Deku goes into a warehouse in the evening and Aunt May says, please stay safe. Don't go. And Deku, he goes to a warehouse and he had some of his clothes and he had the red and blue clothes, so he starts sewing them together and it creates this suit without the gauntlets at the wrists. And Deku's like, that's cool, maybe I could fight crime in this. And Deku comes back home. He hides it in his backpack. Aunt May's like, I've been worried sick of you, Deku. Why are you keeping going outside? You know what happened yesterday? Are you forgetting? Deku's like, I understand, Aunt May, but I'm doing something good. Just you wait. Deku goes inside his room, locks the door, and Deku's like, so what does a spider have? What I don't have? I don't have webs, so why don't I make my own webs? So Deku starts drawing webs. Webs, and he starts making the trigger, the refill, the electric web. He puts 12-volt battery in there. It's kind of uncomfortable, but it has to work. It's just the prototype. And he puts bearings inside so the webs can instantly go through it and attach to heavy objects like buildings. Deku just, drawn thousands and thousands and thousands of types of web shooters. And yeah, Deku puts on his prototype web shooters that he just made. Let me say that it's been 1 week. Deku hasn't returned to school. And yeah, people are worried. Harry knows that Uncle Ben has died. He doesn't want to tell anybody because that's private information. And yeah. And the funeral will be in 1 more week's time. And yeah. Deku creates this suit and the goggles. And Deku says, I'm gonna get my revenge. I feel it. But Ame knocks on the door and she says, Deku, I need to tell you something. Deku instantly removes his clothes and puts on his back his normal clothes. And Ame opens the door. And she goes and sits on Deku's bed. And then Deku is like, Ame, what do you want? And Ame's like, Deku, please don't ask for revenge. Not even Uncle Ben would want that. He would want you to be educated. He would want you to be a scientist, plus the things you love. He wouldn't want you to live in a life of regret, fear, pain, and revenge. That's not my husband, and that's definitely not my son. Is that alright, Deku? Deku's like, yes, Ame. I won't have revenge. Because revenge is not key. Ame leaves Deku thinking, should I get my revenge and kill the guy who killed my uncle? Or should I just find the guy and put him in police custody? That's the most righteous way ever. But I don't have a hero's license. Like All Might. Like Aizawa. Like Eraserhead and that. And Deku's thinking, school may be finishing in 3 years' time. I might as well just become a hero when I enter university at hero school. But not reveal my identity. So, it's now the next day. Deku, he returns to school. Everybody looks at him and is like, oh my gosh, I heard that something happened to him, but I don't know. People don't know, but they heard that something happened to him and it's changed him. Everybody's like, well, that kid looks dark. Harry looks at his best friend and he's like, Deku, give me a hug, man. And they give each other a hug. And Harry's like, I'm sorry, man. If only I was there, man. I could have stopped that, man. I'm sorry for what happened to you. I'm sorry for your loss. And Deku starts crying. He's like, man, this world is just effed up, man. Why do they hate me? And Harry says, they don't hate you, man. They just want you to grow up, man. Life hits hard. But in order to get up, we have to face our fears. Okay? And Deku says, yes, man. I love you, Harry, man. You've been my best friend for so long. Dude, when we got bullied, you all stood up for me. And you're my inspiration too. Harry cries even too. They wipe their tears and they go into class. Then we see Deku sit in the back of the class. Everybody's like, whoa, Deku's not wearing glasses, so are we going to like diss him? And I guess that Bakugo has broken his hand and his nose, so he's in the hospital just repairing his wrist. And yeah, Deku is in the back, lonely. He needs space. the teacher says, Midoriya, why haven't you not answered questions as usual? Scientific questions, math questions, geometry questions, English questions. Deku's like, no comment, I don't really care right now. I just want to be alone. Alright? The only person who can talk to me is Harry and Aunt May. That's it. Just leave me alone, teacher, man. And teacher's like, okay. And now it's lunchtime. And Deku, he's wearing his wrist gauntlet whenever a crime happens. And Deku, he's eating. And we fall from Bakugo's friends and they want to mess around with Deku. And they start throwing paper balls, just like what happened with Bakugo. But Deku this time, he catches them. And you know what he does? He's like, please stop. And he throws them into the bin. And they're like, huh? So, you're not gonna break our nose? You're not gonna break our hand? Deku's like, I've learned my responsibility. That's not me. That's somebody raging inside of me. I have learned to never get revenge. Well, to face my fears and take action right. And he sits back and eats. And everybody's like, whoa, that was a deep speech. And yeah, we were an explosion from a lab. Deku looks at the explosion. Everybody's like, what the? Look, there's an explosion down there. Everybody looks left and looks right to talk to others. Harry was actually sitting next to Deku. But he looks left and he doesn't see Deku. He's like, huh? Where did Deku go? You follow from Deku, jumping from building to building. There was like, let's trust these rope shooters and let's not make Uncle Ben's death happen again with somebody else. Deku starts using his webs, left, right, turning. Deku starts doing flips and he starts saying, woohoo! And everybody's like, what that figure up there? And Deku says, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. And everybody's like, whoa, that's cool. We got our own superhero. And people saying, is that a vigilante? But he's here to save that fire over there. He really is a hero. And I feel like we're gonna stop it there. This and part 2. This, number 1, number 2, were the origins of how Deku became Spider-Man. Hope you guys like and subscribe. And see you guys in the next video. But wait, I got one last few words. With great power comes great responsibility. That's what a wise man told Deku.